Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, because sorry about that. I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Why is the universe bringing someone to you that you feel feels like home, but they trigger you? What is the whole spiritual significance which is very important, especially when we're looking to break karmic cycles, right? Especially with a karmic soulmate, karmic past life karmic mate. We definitely want to break those karmic cycles because when we're connected to a past life karmic mate, it means that there are lessons that weren't learned in the past life. So with each lifetime, it's not like it gets easier. It becomes more toxic. It becomes more, like just it can become very toxic because on a subconscious level, this person knows that they lost you in another life. They know that it's them that keeps on jeopardizing the connection. And what happens when a person really does have feelings but continually gets in their own way, it's extremely frustrating. And I don't know why, like I said, I'm feeling that type of energy, but we're going to take a peek and see why. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box, including my life coaching that is opened. All you need to do is fill out the link and someone will get in contact with you if you're someone that's interested in shadow healing but needs life coaching, like what your soul's path is, helping you to develop your own psychic abilities, as well as helping you heal from the effects of trauma, which, by the way, once you heal from the effects of your trauma, it really does open up your third eye. Because once you integrate those spiritual blocks, you can find your gifts, everything balances out. Again, that link's in the description box. How to enter into winning a free reading with me. The directions are in the description box. You have to want to get the reading done live. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone. So if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, you need to be open to getting the reading live. If you want it more private, send me the questions the day before. All right. I think I said everything. Let's see what the word of the video is. All right, let's see. The word of the video is disappointment. Disappointment. I feel like someone feels like they screwed it up. That they screwed it up. We're gonna go a little deeper. So you're in separation from one that, and I feel like the way that you're looking at this person, like you see that they're like a disappointment. That's the way that you look at them. You're like, oh, I thought that you were somebody else. And I feel like this person's disappointed because they were like, oh, I expected you to act a certain way, but you didn't. It's like, I expected you to crumble and lay down and die, but you were like, oh, no, not I. And instead, what happened is that you like kind of got your mojo on. It was like there was an exchange of power at that given time when you walked away from this person. So they're seeing you as someone completely different. Like where I feel like at one time you were really sensitive and someone that was really like all about making everyone happy and just being so willing to go along and so easygoing. And when I say easy, I'm not talking about like sexually. I feel like easy, just like whatever this person wanted. You were like, I don't care. Like you want to go out to eat wherever you want to go, like whatever you want to talk about, like whatever. Like you let this person be who they, whatever they wanted to be. You never tried to control them. This person, I feel like they just disrespected you again due to the fact that you were so easy. There's always an illusion that you have to work hard for things, right? So you were almost too nice, too kind. And so what happens is that this person kind of like disrespected you, which is why you're disappointed. And now they get a different version of you. And this is what they didn't think existed. which I feel like the irony is once you stepped into that power, this person became very attracted to you because before they might have seen you as weak, where now they're not seeing you as weak. So when you were dealing with this person's energy, it was all about them manipulating. Again, like you didn't know what was real and what wasn't. Meaning, do they have feelings even? I don't really know whether they have feelings or not. Um, and what it is they wanted you in their life. I think they just wanted you in their life on their terms, which was just to be sitting there on the back burner, not really to ever be getting that much attention, where you were like, you had enough of the abuse and you were like, that's what you saw it as. You were like, it's abusive because psychologically you're deliberately breadcrumbing me. And emotionally, you don't show up for me. So what kind of relationship is this? It's like you got your foot stuck in the door. It's like, but you're not doing anything. Um, and when I call you out on it, you lie to me and you think that I don't know. But then it's like I see that you are lying to me because then you post up on social media different things. Or you always have your phone on you, but then you don't answer my text messages after you make plans with me, after we say that we're going to do something. A lot of times, this person would just say something to see whether or not you were interested, like what you would say. So they'd say, yeah, we should go away on a vacation. If you said, oh, yeah, my friend invited me to go such and such place, they'd say, oh, we should go on a vacation. And then they would look to see what your reaction was. And if you were like, yeah, we should, then they were like, oh, good. See, you like me. I don't really need to figure it out. But that like you're an option. That was the energy. And you're like, yeah, but they were excluding you from their life. So it's like there's no greater insult, which is you're a good option, but I'm not going to invest in you at all. And I'm going to keep you here on the back burner and give you breadcrumbs. And then when you ask me, I'm going to lie to you and or ignore you. It's again, ignore your needs. Yeah, I know that you don't like it, but I don't really care. It's like, and I don't care whether it turns you upside down emotionally or not either. It's that this person again enjoyed like wearing the mask, and the mask is, oh, I'm so desirable. Look how much you like me. I'm gonna again make it as if I'm so sought after and put myself in a position where I can act like I'm more superior than you. And that's why, again, this person thought that they were more superior than you. That's why they had you on the back burner. It's not like you weren't a good option when it came to niceness and how you made this person feel and attractiveness. But did your life match what this person wanted their life to look like? And that's again, the mask is important. It's their self-image. So, that tied into it a lot. Um, and this person needs constant attention. So they're expecting to have somebody that's going to give a lot of attention to them and not really get that much in return. And then jealous if the attention wasn't on them. But then if you would say, hey, well, you don't give back, then they would accuse you of being jealous that the attention wasn't on you all the time. So this person would, again, that was a way of gaslighting and manipulation where the expectations of what they expected you to do when really all this person was doing was stonewalling you, and they didn't really think that you were going to walk away. You called their bluff because you're like, you're not going to dominate me. It's like you act like you have time for everything, including your hobbies, and not me. When I say something to you, you avoid me. And you do a lot of drugs and you're in the party mode and you're in party mode because again you don't really want to commit to anybody, but you don't really care that again you made me feel forgotten about. So again that ruined the trust, and trust because this person doesn't take accountability, and it's because they have trauma that's not resolved, and they like try to run from being judged, and then they displace their anger where really it's again they haven't healed. So any little thing that you're going to hold them accountable to, they're going to, again, resist it. They're going to withdraw. And you're going to just think that it's a one-sided relationship where it's unfair, and you didn't want to stay in a place of resentment because that's what this type of connection is. It's like, why? What is this person's like? What do they really feel? Because it's like, why would the person hold on to you and not really want to give anything? There's always reason. So we have to look at the hidden truth. I wish you knew how grateful I am that I've met you. So again, there's a spiritual connection. I can't stand the thought of you being with someone else. So again, if I'm not ready to give to you, but I hold you up, you can't really meet anyone else. See, that's really what it is. I'm not ready to be with you though. But I know that I can't say that I'm not because you're going to go off and meet someone else. So I'm going to try and hold on to you, play a lot of games, manipulative games to kind of keep you like on the back burner. I wish I could fix things between us, which they could, but they would have to be different. And the thing is, there's a part of this person that I think that they don't really know what they want. They don't, they've been living a certain way for a long time, and it's like, and it's due to their unhealed trauma. Removing the mask from like how they want to be perceived is going to be really difficult because people create masks because they reject parts of themselves. So it's where are they going? If they take off the mask, who are they? They're ashamed of who they are. So there needs to be an ego death, and there needed to be an ego death. Even though that this person, like again, I want you, but I don't want to do what it takes to have you. Um, I feel like this person puts unnecessary obstacles in their way, but then again, that's what they say. Well, it's not my fault. I have this, that, but they don't want you to move on. When really this person runs away from their problems, and you just feel like it's repetitive cycles. Like they need to, you know, stop battling their inner demons. And you know that because again of the avoidance, the substance abuse, because they don't want to deal with their past relationships, though they won't say that that's what it is. I don't think that they know that they have unresolved trauma, so they have anxiety around commitment, and it's just easier for them to be in this happy fun mode player energy. However, it's like, I do have feelings for you. I don't want you to move on. I just don't want to do what it takes. And it's because of the healing that they need to do. It's so this person, again, gets triggered. They, didn't mean what they said, but they're reactionary, which also happens when we have trauma that's not healed. So this person, a lot of times, will not be looking at what's actually happening, but what's happening is triggering the unresolved trauma, and you're getting the consequences because they haven't healed, which is why they're like, well, I don't want to really offer you anything because I don't know what I'm really capable of. So then this way, if I don't, then you won't have expectation of me. And so, but the problem, bottom line is you had a connection to this person. So of course you had expectation. And if they're promising something in order to keep you on the back burner. No one's saying, hey, I'm going to keep you on the back burner. That was not what the promise was. Again, they're coming in acting as if they're ready when they're really not ready. Well, again, it tells you that they're very selfish. See, they're working up the courage, though, to contact you. They're ashamed of how they treated you because they didn't treat you as if you had any worth. They treated you as if you were good to like have like an affair with, have sex with, to like toy around with, but not good enough to actually be a boyfriend or girlfriend, to not, you know, to do that. And so what it is that you saw it as betrayal, and they know that it is, but there's still this telepathic bond where this person didn't realize that it was going to be so hard to get over you. That's really what I feel. It's like they're like I didn't think because I was in player energy and you on the back burner, but as long as you on the back burner, I didn't really have to think about you. Now that you're disconnected from me, I don't want you to forget about me. I don't want you to, I'm faced with the constant reminders of you. I wish I could turn back the clock and do things over again. I can't deal with this silent treatment that you're just not giving me. but they need to heal their childhood wounds because that's what influenced their actions. And the thing is now, I feel like as they're healing, they're seeing like maybe I don't really have enough to give to you, which what that is that they don't feel like they're good enough. But eventually the ego will die, which all perceptions about how they need to be, how they should be, they just come to the heart center and they know that they are going to come back to you. But I feel like they're gonna go through a spiritual awakening first, because this person like just does wish that you were there, but they're still like dealing with their inner demons and which are just their unhealthy habits and behaviors, which are their addictions, and they know that you're not going to tolerate that. And they're going to have to really fully show up and they're going to need to really work through things. And so part of it is that the fear of are you going to reject them, are you going to see things that is water underneath the bridge, because they know that they unwittingly sabotage the connections, but the fact that they still get emotional when they think about you because now you're gone. That song, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, that's this person. And you're the first person to make this person feel this way. And so you're actually making them make changes for their betterment. That's what's happening now, which Spirit says that means you're helping this person to love themselves and take accountability for themselves. And that's what real unconditional love is, when the person surrenders their ego. But understand they weren't in that place as long as you were there and they were talking to other people. They know that again, there was something that they're hiding from you. That's their addictions and the way that they cope with life. Obviously, not that you didn't know, but you're really seeing it. And but this is a twin flame journey. So it's actually helping this person to heal. Really, that's what it is. Now, does that mean that you want to take this person back now that they did all that they kept you on the back burner? Well, if it's a real one, you are going to take this person back, unfortunately. Um, I feel like vulnerability, okay, so that this person is going to need to, again, make you feel safe because again, there's a part of you that, like they were not available. So you weren't allowed to be vulnerable. And if you're not able to be vulnerable, you don't feel protected and you didn't feel like it was a genuine connection. So they're going to have to allow that in order to, now again, because everybody has free will, but if you really want to know how like it could work, again, the person's again wishful and you have to again be wanting that as well. But Spirit says in the right time it's going to happen. See, the right timing, when it's divine timing, that's when it's a twin flame connection, because it's all about growth. So there's a part of you that may be like, I know that this connection is really hard and this person really like pissed me off, and you could be like again angry for the way that they treated you. However, they're coming back as a totally different person because of this awakening that they're having. Um, and really, Spirit saying it's about releasing control. This person needed to release control because again, fear was really guiding them a lot. And where Spirit's saying it's like, and you too, meaning it's not going to look the way you want it to look. It's like if it's a twin flame connection, it's not designed for that. The relationship is literally designed to help you. It holds up the mirror. The person holds up your mirror, say, look at me. And that's what you did to this person when you disconnected. You said, look at yourself. It's like, and this person was like, I don't like what I'm seeing. It's like, and I also don't like what I'm feeling, and I didn't realize that I was going to feel this way. And Spirit says, yeah, because yeah, you were like in that player energy, you weren't caring. But now looking back, you see that you were like a jerk. And so you're going to have to fix it. And this person's embarrassed about having to fix it. They don't know how to fix it. I feel like there's someone that's like not really good with their emotions, but they want a new beginning. And this is a new death, like a fresh start. Can we? Can we? It's again with the new knowledge that, this person has about you. That's what they want. And they're like, they're going to make a new declaration. This is what they want. Like I said, look at the contracts, strong connection, committed telepathy connection. Again, so they're like, again, I know that you're my person. And it's like, even though it looks the way that it looks, even though I did what I did, I don't know whether you'll forgive me or not, but I'm going to try. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Confusion, card number one. These are your inner child wounds. Dance two. Imagination three. Shame four. Uh, Anchor five. And sing six. And then we pull three from here. But we'll do this first. So I feel like, again, shamed, whenever we're shamed, this is a bad thing. And that because, again, we feel like we're bad. So I feel like you didn't really ask for a lot. Like you stopped asking. And part of you, again, love is confusing. Love was like your family was confusing. Again, how they showed you love because you were told that you were bad all the time. So I think the way that you saw yourself was confusing and also a little bit detached, meaning you don't know what you feel. And that's why it's confusing because again, when you're brought up in an environment where you're shamed, it's not that you don't that parents can't yell at their children or punish their children from time to time, but it was the way that you were punished. It was again where you were like emotionally like disconnected from your parent. It was like almost like your mom or dad stopped talking to you, stonewalled you, again, treated you bad, where you began to think that you were bad. And I say that because this is anchor. So like a father and child, right? So again, this is like a close relationship, but an anchor is what shows us support. But if you're continually being told by your support that you're bad, or like sometimes it doesn't even come out in words. It's done with actions where your opinion doesn't really matter. I'm going to make you feel unworthy. Your feelings are not going to be validated, all of that. Or if you again have feelings or emotions on how you're being treated, I'm going to twist it around back on you and shame you. So again, which is really confusing because you're like, well, if this is like my family, like, shouldn't they love me? Shouldn't they accept me? So that energy, that emotional abuse and psychological abuse, really, again, when a parent continually shames their child, is because they have trauma, unresolved trauma that they were shamed. So they're projecting a lot of that ancestral karma onto their child. Now, the child, like I said, doesn't connect well to that first source of what's supposed to be unconditional love. So the attachment style becomes avoidant. And so when the child now feels so disconnected from the child, they don't feel safe. You don't feel safe. See, there's only two energies, love and fear. And if you're in shame, you're obviously in fear because you think that there's something wrong with you, that you're not good enough, that you're bad, which pushed you into the imagination realm. And the child that survives thrives because emotional and psychological abuse will do that. So when you were younger, you needed to control everything. Now, the dance is actually the rhythm that happens when you are co-creating with the divine, when you are like moving through life. It's your choice of focus that allows you to dance in the energy that life gives you, regardless of what life is giving you at the time, because that life is always giving you different energy. So you got to be able to go with the flow of life. So you weren't able to go with the flow of life because you thought that you were bad. So people that think that they're bad, they overthink, they get in their own way, they believe that they're not deserving on some level. So again, what wound up happening for you, however, is again, it pushed you into your mind, which the trauma did that. It was like you were there, but then you weren't. So in order to deal with an environment that makes you feel uncomfortable and like you're bad, it's a form of escapism yourself because you didn't know how to deal with it. So that was the way that you dealt with it. As so Spirit says, like goes to like. You're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. So fear, it's still considered fear. So this is the twin flame energy that you would have to transmute. The fact that, you were like ignored, that you again were shamed, made to feel bad. Think that you're bad. Think that love is transactional then. If you do good, then you're going to be rewarded. If you don't do good, you're going to be shamed. You're bad. And I'm going to stonewall you and not talk to you and punish you in a way that you understand that you're punished as a child. And that's through ignoring you, making you feel unworthy, making you feel not good enough, which is the way that a lot of our ancestors unfortunately taught because they were frustrated and they weren't taught any other way. So this person wants to come back and actually do a whole make a declaration, new sets of rules for the game, right? Per se. So Spirit's saying it's again, this was to help you use your voice. Again, God created the world with its voice. You growing up in that environment where you were shamed, obviously you would be taught not to say anything, where Spirit says no, you have to take bold action. And I would say bold action, like is get out of your comfort zone. If someone's making you feel like as if you're an option and keeping you on the back burner, Spirit says time to take bold action in a new direction, which is what you did. But it's also to, push yourself out of your comfort zone. And that means try new different things. Because obviously, if that energy was comfortable to you, Spirit says that you're just going back to what's familiar. Jump into a whole new reality. Take bold action, take big steps, push yourself out of your comfort zone. And, it'll bring you into a new reality because you're not the same person who you were of the past, and your habits and behaviorisms are not going to be that. They will only be that if you're surrounded by people that continually try to undervalue you and make it seem like you're an option, is what Spirit says. And that's the energy acting like, love is transactional, like you're not really that important. Like you're not, and that's the imprint where Spirit says everybody's important. You're not here by mistake. You're here by God's glory, God's grand design. How do you contribute to humanity? How do you give and receive of love? How do you become love? That's the energy that you need to um, restore yourself to, because then you are the energy of abundance, because you're the same energy as what the universe vibrates at, is what Spirit's saying. So it's again, like if you're too comfortable in a situation like that, like you shouldn't have been comfortable. Because when you take bold action in a whole new direction, life opens up, a path opens up. It's like it's going to be a new reality, but it's going to be a better reality. Empowered soul, acknowledge what you have already overcome. Don't beat yourself up over it, but no, go into life with conviction, being like, well, yeah, I have made decisions that weren't really the best for me, but look where I came from. I was shamed my entire life. Again, made to feel as if there was something wrong with you, that you were not good enough. So you could have continued to give all your power away by sitting on that back burner, but you said, no, I'm choosing myself. That's by being an empowered soul, really is what Spirit's saying. It's like, know your worth. Know your worth. And last space, take time out to continually cleanse your energy. And you can do that by, meditating, and by really meditation doesn't necessarily mean that you got to sit in front of an altar. That doesn't work for me. You can put your headphones on and walk around the park. And even though the headphones are on, before you know it, you daydreamed. You didn't even realize that you were not listening to your music, where you can zone out. And in that zone, you get ideas. That's where in the quiet, even though it's not quiet because you're listening to headset, but you're walking, so your mind is just, you're letting it drift until it finally just goes silent. And in that silence, you get the divine guidance. You get creative energy. So you take the time out, Spirit saying, to continually tap in to your higher self. That's how you nurture yourself. That's how you stay protected. Because again, that discernment is going to help you. again, when you're in the moment, especially if you're being asked to take a bold step in a new direction, Spirit says you have nothing to be afraid of because you always have support. Don't lose yourself in what has happened in the past. Don't go towards what's comfortable. Deliberately do something in the take a bold step in the opposite direction because, like I said, you'll get empowered. And when you get empowered, you get to see yourself differently. People see you differently. And then you're saying, well, you know what, I'm worth it. I sometimes it's not that you don't know that you're not worth it, but you need to see people show you your worth in order to really embody that energy, to see a different perception of yourself. You're always going to have people that don't cheer for you, that don't like what you're doing, especially when you're taking care of yourself and doing what's best for yourself. So you have to love yourself enough to do that. So people that sit on the back burner, they're displaying that they don't love themselves enough. When you take a bold jump in a different direction, well, that's when you're saying, I love myself. I'm worth it. Well, because whatever the situation is that I jump into is going to be better than sitting on the back burner for somebody that, yeah, like they're lazy. They're gonna get around to it. They might get around to it now because again, you walked away, but you don't want to make it that easy for this person. The twin flame, now it's their turn to chase because otherwise you're not going to be able to forgive. That's why I say what I say. Take a bold step in a new direction. That'll force this person also to take a bold step in a new direction because the way that they got to learn how to deal with you is completely different. So they might as well change a few things in their life to help them do that. And we leave it off with one last energy, and that is Spirit saying freedom. Realize your wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So work to free yourself of the darkness. When you cast off negative thoughts, find peace in your heart and discover the being of light within you. So that's the key. Discovering the being of light. Light is love, right? Light is source. Light is passion. Where is it? The Spirit's saying. That's what you got to find. Because once you get into that energy, it creates a whole other world onto its own. That's when you're living your bliss. That's when you're really able to surrender and let it go, whether you're going to be with this person or not. But it looks like you're going to be with this person, even though it's a difficult connection. Now, twin flames usually aren't lifelong. They come in for a season, like for a certain amount of time to teach. You teach them, but because it's so hard and they're so opposite and whatever, they help you as you help them to evolve to the next level of consciousness on a higher level of consciousness, like to graduate from a lower energy, because both parties are coming in and they're contributing their gifts. And their gifts are the way that they handle life, the way that they're approached, the way that they think. Just everything is different, is opposite. That's why it's like, oh, my other half. No such thing as another half. It's that person like has blockages where you have gifts and vice versa, and you're both coming together and through the act of unconditional love, and which you're being reminded all the time that you have unconditional love for this person because you want to rip their head off a lot of times because they're triggering you. They're showing you the mirror, but because the other times it's so passionate and there's such a connection, like we're willing to go into that. And that spirit saying that that's again where freedom lies. Freedom lies from transmuting your wounds and making them into gifts. This person is helping you as you helping them. And it shows because for them to actually feel bad, they're actually going to take a bold step in a new direction to follow you. It's again, that's something that they've never done. So Spirit says, even if you chose not to be with this person, you know what? They still have healed somewhat because they surrendered their ego. They took a jump in a new direction that's going to create a whole other reality for them. So I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.